Well, hello. Look at that. My God, look at the look at the comments already. All right, guys. Had a little technical difficulty, internet problem. So, hopefully we got that resolved. So you got me and you got Cam. And come on, that thing pops up. There we go. So we got a show packed full of stuff today. We got a couple of tributes to do, and we're going to introduce a new thing, a new. I think it's gonna be cool. It's going to be called Word of the Day. So I just did it a little bit ago. I didn't have a chance to even tell Cam about it. But what it's going to be is during the show, there's going to be a word that we use during the show that we usually don't use. Okay, so if somebody can figure it out during the show, what we're going to do is on our Friday noon show, we're going to play your top 10 favorite Elvis songs in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Give us the playlist for our Friday noon show, and we might roll that into what we might. If, as a matter of fact, I think what we'll do is we'll take your top five of those 10 and throw them into the Friday night show, also. So we've got because we've got three shows we're doing right now. The first two are during the week that we're going to see how much activity we get. But from during the show, if you think there's a word that we use, put it in the comments, and the first person that gets it. And now if you don't have any intentions of giving a list, or if you don't have any intentions of listening to it, well, I can't make anybody listen to it. But if you don't have any intentions to follow through with giving us a list, because we'll announce who it comes from. Don't play, please. Um, and it's just we want to try this. And I think I want to try it to see if we can gain a little bit more activity on the week shows. So, and I don't mean week like good week. I mean like during the week. All of our shows are week.
So have you got a word?
Oh, I've already got a word. Her. I'm gonna actually let me. I'm gonna give me 1 second here. Yeah,
Because
because I
I,
did.
I,
We usually Cam and I um talk a little bit before the show, but with his, oh God, I got to get a bigger.
because if you didn't have a word, I was gonna say, if you paid attention to my slideshow and the words I gave you to add to it, there's a word in there that nobody will get.
Okay, well, send the word to me. We could do that. It doesn't make a difference. I don't. I'm not sold on it. But we got to make a decision right now before we move on. So I don't know. You guys let us know what you think. It'd be kind of a cool little thing. Cam going for the slick back look. We. No, it's not, Nancy. It's not for only those who listen to the radio show. Um, I mean, if you want to listen to the radio show, that's awesome. But we will make an announcement that these are. It's going to be kind of like a dedication to you. So if you want, oh my God, I don't think anybody can get that. We'll try it. We'll use a backup. It'll be interesting.
You know what that word where that word comes from? It's a word we made up when we were kids. It means
Oh,
over and out.
yeah, you can't do that. You can't give them a made up word. Well, we'll see what happens. Okay, Dylan, it's a list of your top your top 10 or 10 favorite songs, or just put together 10 songs you like by Elvis, and we will play it on our radio show on Friday at the noon show. I'm confused. What are we listing? So we're not listing now. All you're going to do to get that is during the show, there'll be a word used that we normally don't use in a show, and you'll realize, ooh, that's kind of new. So put it in the chat, and the first person that gets it will get to give us that choice. It's like name that tune, but it's name that word. Let's see. It listens to Blue Moon Radio or it gets the hose. Okay. Um, Kyle. Hey, Charlie. I'm going to say hello to everybody. Hey, Patty. Hey, Natalie. Who else we got here? Lori's here. Satnin's here. We got Shell. Hello. Lori's here. Janet's here. We got a nice crowd. Look at we're up to 30, almost 30 already.
Gee.
Lori's here. I said that, didn't I? Jerry's here. Wow, good lord. All right, so I got a packed day. I really want to try to get through it all, but we have a couple of really important things we need to do, and um, there are a couple. There's a couple of tributes. Today's obviously Lisa Marie's birthday. She would have been 58 today, and so I've got just a little video that it's from the memorial when she passed, and it's one of my favorite. It's a really good little 3 minute eulogy that one of the people gave. It's not Jerry Schilling. I decided I'm not going to bring him here because it'll probably bring up some conversation. Just because of his actions since Lisa died. Um, so we're gonna do, and then Cam's got a special tribute he wants to that we've put together for everybody. For if nobody, you go ahead and tell him, Cam, or do you want me to tell him?
No, you can do it.
Okay, so Cam lost a close friend of 31 years on Thursday, and so it's been rough. It's been a rough several days. It actually was kind of a rough week, just with different things arising. And so last night we talked about it on the watch party, and so we decided to put he wanted to put a tribute together, and of course this is half his channel, so he can do whatever whatever he wants, and I love it. We put together a really nice presentation in honor of his friend, and I you know I just want you to tell me what stage of the show. If you want to start off with that, we're going to do that, and then we'll do Lisa Marie afterwards, and we'll get into the show. If that's
Yeah, we can do that.
okay. So
Yeah.
here's a if you want to give a little trailer at the beginning, explain what it is about. Maybe 30, whatever you want to do, a few minutes, or do you just want to just kick right into it?
Well, basically, what happened is most of you guys know that it's a friend of mine that had his foot amputated 6 months ago, and he basically he was a diabetic too, and he survived 13 heart attacks, survived uh, pneumonia 4 times, survived COVID 5 times, and after he had his foot amputated, um, his health just slowly but surely declined. But he was convinced that he was going to kick it, and then of course he had a couple of family issues as well at the same time, which I think was like the final death blow. And basically, toward the end, he was battling with a distended abdomen, and his digestive system had slowed down to almost being non-functional. But nonetheless, he remained positive as long as he could, and he kind of hit a depressive slump, but I didn't realize it at the time. And I kind of decided, for my own mental sanity, I'll distance myself a little while because, he needs to deal with the situation. And it was during this time that, he passed. And the first day I received the scooter, he was the first person I went to go and show the scooter. And little did I know that was the last time we would spend together. And yeah, I woke up Friday morning to receive a WhatsApp from his mother stating that he passed away the previous afternoon, just after 4 o'clock. So,
Mhm.
and I had actually driven past his complex on Tuesday, and I consciously told myself that no, I'm not ready to go yet. And I was actually thinking on Wednesday that I wanted to go see him tomorrow. And yeah, I never had the chance. So
Well, his name was Jocks, and Cam gave me some beautiful pictures. So we put this together, and I hope you all enjoy it. It's about 3 minutes long, and it's beautiful. It's a yeah. You want to say anything?
um, yeah, but no, not really.
Okay. You obviously just let me know if you do. Thank you everybody for watching that. After I sent it to Cam, and he like I gave him two options, and it was just a music background that was the options, and I probably played it like a dozen times afterwards, and then I showed it to my wife this morning, and she teared up. So it was so. Anyways, we've had these moments where we've lost somebody close to us. So Cam, I love you, brother, and you know my heart's with you always.
Yeah, I know. Just so that everybody knows, that picture that was in the left hand side, he took a picture of himself one day and he put it into ChatGPT and he asked ChatGPT, he said, if it was possible to take a picture of me as a spiritual being, what would my spiritual body look like? How would I be represented? And that was the picture that ChatGPT came out with.
I'm uploading it right now. This one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Very cool, huh? Very
yeah,
cool. All right, thank you everybody. Thank you, Cam. And now let's move on over to Miss Lisa. Where have I got that one? I've got that one right here, I believe. Video. Oh, there it is. Okay, now during most of us probably, in fact, I broadcasted. I did a live stream of the memorial of Lisa, but there were several people that spoke: Sarah Ferguson and Alana Morissette. course Jerry, and of course Mummy, and then there was some singers there. It was a beautiful memorial, I thought. But what really touched me, I went through it last night and listened to it again. And actually, I never really paid close attention to it, but Axl Rose gave a beautiful eulogy to her.
Hmm.
And you know what? While you're sitting there, Cam, I need to center you.
Yeah, I noticed.
I, I got to get you centered here, buddy. So it's a 3 minute eulogy, and I liked some of Guns N' Roses music. It wasn't my generation, but I did like I liked what they did. I wasn't a big fan of Axl at the time, but this really changed my. And when he went over and sat, what he was it? November Rain he sang, was it, or what was the song?
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah,
was November rain. Yeah.
yeah, it was a beautiful. Yeah, it was beautiful. Here, this is his eulogy.
With Lisa's passing, I knew if I decided I needed to come to these ceremonies. I hadn't planned on speaking, and when I was put on the spot, I really didn't know what to say, and I was tongue-tied and nervous, and I don't even really know what I said. But as I'm sure many of you are still in shock, as I feel I'll continue to be for quite some time. I feel like I'm supposed to be texting her like right now, saying I'm here, telling her how wonderful everyone is. I never in a million years imagined singing here, and especially under these circumstances. This is truly devastating, and I'm sure excruciating for everyone here and all of those affected by her passing. At the same time, one can see how hard everyone's worked and is working to make this as beautiful for Lisa as it can be and is. I'm honored to be here for Lisa and her family. I don't know that I deserve to be here, especially speaking amongst those that have known Lisa for longer and were much closer than her and I, especially her family and those that have known her most of their lives or even all of hers. I do know Lisa loved her family very much and was fiercely protective of her father, his legacy, and both her love for him and his love for her. She was extremely proud as anyone could ever be of her father and his many accomplishments, his place in music, America, and American and world history. She was also very proud of the Elvis movie and how she felt it portrayed her father and the care that was put into the film by those involved. Mr. Lerman's vision and direction, and Austin Butler's dedication to the role of her father. With Ben's passing, Lisa's life and the rest of her family and his loved ones took a turn down a hard road that she was honoring to the best of her abilities, seeking out help and choosing to help others who experienced or were experiencing such a loss and pain. We are gathered here today to pay our respects to Lisa and her family and to share our memories, console one another to the degree that we're able. And though under such difficult, heartbreaking, and somber circumstances, also to celebrate the life of a friend, a loved one, a beautiful and good soul, and a cherished and deeply missed family member. Lisa is loved and missed by many, and will continue to be loved and missed by all those whose lives she touched. Thank you.
That was that one really touched me after I finally listened to it. You could tell him and Lisa were really close.
Yeah, no, I can identify with him now because
Yeah.
how do you take somebody that you have such a close relationship with? I mean, I take myself and Jock for example. He used to, barring the last 10 days or the last 2 weeks, he would send me a message every morning. Literally every single morning. And he would be so upbeat and so excited about the day. And he would constantly ask about the channel and how we doing and new stuff that we busy with, and just general making an effort to be a part of my day. And I experienced that the whole weekend, including today. My initial thought the moment I open my eyes is, let me check my phone. And then reality hits in, and reality is like, no, the message is not coming. But it's, how do you take somebody's life that I was involved in for 29 years? We were friends since we were the age of 17. I was there when he went through his first divorce. I was there when they were battling to have children. And I was there when he met his second wife. And I was there when he asked me to be his best man at his wedding. And he was there when I got married in spirit. He was there when I finally took my wife to him to meet her. And he was there with me when I went through my separation. And I was there to share in his joy when his wife finally fell pregnant. And I was there when I was one of the first people he sent pictures to when his daughter was born, and the same with his son. And we were just a part of each other's lives so much that I'm finding it difficult to envision having to wake up tomorrow and he's not going to be there. Because whether it would be something that I would be battling with, he would be there to guide me. And even if it was just to listen or give me a word of encouragement or guide me and say, yeah, this is, you're right about feeling the way you feel. Do this or do that, or don't do this, or, it's, I mean, when he was in hospital awaiting the amputation of his foot, he called me and I was on a WhatsApp call with him for 6 hours. And we spoke about everything. As far back as we can remember, we spoke about shit and we laughed together and we cried together. And even on the 16th, when I went and I spent the day with him, I could see he was having a hard time adjusting to a person now that has a disability. But in one way, I laughed about it with him because I said, you lucky, because you only going to be in a wheelchair for the next 8 months until you're strong enough and until your wound is healed. Then you're going to get a prosthesis. Then you're going to be back to what you used to be. But looking back at it now, it was like that sparkle had gone. The spontaneous laughter and the spontaneous sense of humor. He had to work at it to get us to a point where we would laugh about it, but it would be a split second, and then we'd be back to, he'd say, "Oh, it's okay. I've had my moment of, pity," and he always used to say, "Hey, how many guys do you know that survived 13 heart attacks, 5 bouts of COVID, or 6 bouts of pneumonia?" He used to say, "Hey, Superman is a pansy. I ain't got nothing on Superman." And it's like, I know in my heart of hearts, the last 3 months were difficult from an emotional perspective as well as a physical perspective. I mean, he was battling kidney failure, but again, he believed that he was going to kick it. and he was going to do it good and proper. So I know he probably, in many instances, I know with his stomach being bloated all the time and had problems eating and all those things. I know there were times when it was painful. Um, so I know he's ascended now and he's no longer bound to a body that was failing him. But I guess it's a little bit selfish for me to expect him to still be here. But hell, I can tell you guys one thing. If I'd known on the 16th of December that was our last day together, I would have done so much more to at least make him know that he wasn't my friend, he was my brother. And that even though times got hard for him, I still appreciated and valued him in my life.
Well, you and I have talked a lot about it, and I think I think how you've been. I think you're going through the right motions right now as far as trying to. Um, well, we've talked about it. I really don't want to divulge a lot of what we talked about, but we're all here, always here for you, man.
Yeah, I know.
So,
And I'm grateful for that. But at the same time, like I said too, I'm I'm fearful because I'm going into territory that is unknown.
yeah. Well, we're here for you anytime. Anytime you want to talk, you know, you know how to get a hold of me.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's hard to start a show off on a somber moment and then try to get into the show, but no, I'm not. Yeah, I know it sounds like, but
Shitty planning on my
but it
part.
also builds us up too because to
Yeah.
me, it's just for this channel, we know what this community is like, and you would see so many people just sitting, like there would be feel. I don't know. I don't even go there. There's so many idiots out there who would just shout out or move on, But you have us captivated, and we're here. We all love you.
Yeah, I know. He should count himself lucky that I'm sitting here shedding tears from the asshole.
Well, here let's do a little guesswork here. I need to put this up so because I don't know the. So we're gonna do a little um of the originals. See if I find is a screenshot I took of it. Did I really? Not yeah. Today. There it is. There we go. All right. So and these are they were difficult for me to appreciate that you're going to really see the creativity of Elvis now. You're going to really see it. So the first one here is from the original was done in 1881.
Gee, did they have music that far back?
Well, yeah, they had music. It just the song is actually adapted from a song from 1881.
Uh-huh.
And I could play 11 seconds of it until I stop, and I'll do it twice, and then we're going to listen to Elvis's version. Anybody, any kind of clue?
I have no
Can't
idea.
tell, can you?
No.
I'll do it one more time, and then I'll play it right to when he starts. It sounds like it does, doesn't it? Sounds like No, that's not it. What do we got? All right, let's let it play right through. You got to be blown away.
Jeez.
I got to be careful. We'll get bumped.
Jeez. I would have never said that.
Yeah, wasn't that? How do you like that, huh?
Never in a million years would I have said that.
Yeah. All right, here's the second one. This was recorded originally in. Oh, come on, where's this sheet? 1947 by Roy Acuff.
Oh, hell no.
The melody's there. No, it's not 3/4. Close. It's not even. It's not even close. But I can hear. Yeah, you could get the melody out of that. All right, here we go.
In the twilight glow I see her meet again.
Jeez.
Big Froggy Winter Gordon. Yeah, Patty got it.
Gee.
Good one, Patty. She got it.
Good
Before. All right, here we go. This one is from 1945 by an artist named Dick Haymes. Sounds like a character on a radio show.
Yeah.
Here we go. How long have I got? I got 10 seconds. I'll play it through one more time. I'm gonna keep going here in a second. Patty got it.
Love letters straight from
Gee. The original sounds like Liberace.
It's amazing how different he took it and just unbelievable, huh? All right,
Crazy.
so this next one was original from 1902.
Mm. I've got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Somebody else gets it. Patty got it
Yeah.
again.
Patty got it again, and
Got
Brent
it.
got it.
It's very close, Charlie. That's what I thought at first. Amazing, huh? Sorry, I can't
Yeah.
go much longer on the clips because, like I said, we've been hit before with these songs. I still get copyright claims on them after the video's over, but I don't care. I'm not monetized. All right, so I got one more. We did Blue Eyes. Okay, so here's the last one. I'm really surprised. I was surprised that when the original was done because it was actually done in 1972, just before Elvis did it. And here's the original.
Gee.
You're not gonna. I mean, someone's gonna guess if they knew. They knew it was originally done by Brenda Lee. Dylan got it.
Maybe I didn't treat you.
I just never took the time.
Big difference, huh?
Insane. It's like they're two worlds apart.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Crap. Damn it. No, I can't think of it. Well, let's really. All right. So, that's cool. That's the original game. Thanks for playing with that one. Just a reminder for those who came in a little bit earlier. Let's see. Or is it in the videos? Movie. Man, did I upload it or not? All right, guys. I might have to pull it up here in a second. Oh. All right. I'm going to play a little video here real quick that I have got. This is Dick Clark. Back in the 50s, he did 4 little reports on Elvis. I put them all together. It's all funny, even though I'm poopy on it. Okay.
While Elvis was still in the Army, a newsman asked him this question.
Elvis, what's your idea of the ideal girl? Female, sir. Not sure. I really don't know. I like a lot of different types. I suppose I'll know if I ever find someone that I really, I'll really fall in love with.
Elvis and girls, do you think he's married? Well, you'll find out in a half a second or so, because we have one of Hollywood's authorities here to tell us her guess, her conjecture on the fact that whether he is married or will get married. And we'll answer that question for you with Miss Rona Barrett, one of Hollywood's leading columnists, in a moment or two. In 1957, I wrote the introductory remarks to a thing called the Elvis Presley story that a friend of mine, Jim Gregory, wrote. I learned a good deal about Elvis in my travels and associations with other people. I've never known him personally. I've talked to him on the phone, met him a couple of times personally. We are certainly not intimate friends. I've never had the opportunity to try and become one. Not that I don't mean to imply by that I don't care for the man. I think the world of him. I think he's one of the legends of our time. There are people, though, in this community, and I say this one here, Los Angeles, Hollywood, who are not as friendly toward the man as they might be, and I was curious to find out why. So I asked a young lady, excuse me, named Rona Barrett, who is probably the fastest rising young Hollywood columnist, and she knows all the inside story of practically everybody who makes their living in entertainment out here. And I said to her, what do you think about Elvis as far as Hollywood is concerned? What does Hollywood think of him? And this is what she said.
I don't really believe that Elvis Presley is as well-liked as most people want to believe. In fact, it has always been my impression that one of the reasons why Elvis has stayed around as long as he has basically been due to the great mastermind of his manager, Colonel Tom Parker. I don't think too many people really realize this, but most of Elvis's pictures really haven't been tremendous box office successes. Every time I've looked at the polls and the statistics that have come in from exhibitors, they haven't been as great as I imagine they should have been. And I think one of the other reasons why Elvis Presley has really never been considered a real citizen of our town is mainly because he's so strange, and the fact that he's never around places where we can see him, especially members of the press. He keeps his personal life a rather very secret thing. And of course, I've always thought it rather strange that any man should travel around with an entourage.
You know, when that story came out about, I remember her, this is when I really got to know who she was, what she was all about, was when that story came out about Elvis, that woman sued him for, paternity suit and all that. Man, she was all over that story, like Geraldo Rivera is, I don't know what, all over whatever. She was the female Geraldo Rivera from that time period.
A few weeks ago, we showed you an airport reception for the Beatles. It happened before. In 1959, after his return from Germany, Elvis Presley returned to McGuire Air Force Base in the middle of a snowstorm, a blizzard. No matter, of course, what the weather was, the Elvis fans were there in force, and the gals are outside scraping the windows, trying to get a peek at him. And as was to be expected, a great number of newsmen were there.
Elvis, you have some screaming fans out there. Do you still like screaming girls?
If it wasn't for them, I'd have to re-up in the Army.
I can imagine what Scott really went through his mind when he asked him that question, but he can't answer it.
Yeah, or he must have thought to himself sarcastically, he must have thought, oh no.
I'll tell you.
Elvis, do you plan to make a picture about your experiences in the Army or about the Army at all?
Well, my first picture is called GI Blues, oddly enough. And the story takes place in Germany. But it's not about my actual experiences.
Elvis, there's a report that you like the Army so much that you wanted to write a book about it. Did you ever think of re-enlisting?
Seriously.
We have the best luck with the stupidest interviewers.
You can see even
that give up making millions of dollars making movies out just so I can go write a book.
Yeah.
No, I never thought of. I never thought of re-enlisting. But maybe someday I will write a book about my experiences in the Army. You know.
Elvis, we've heard that you and a girl named Priscilla were having a love affair in Germany. Has she popped the question at sleep year?
No, I'm afraid not. Now, this girl that you're speaking of, I saw her a few times, and it happened to leak out. And there was a lot of pictures made of her and so forth, but it was no big romance or nothing like that. You know.
Elvis, you're 25 now, and a lot of new young singers have come along. How do you think they're going to affect your career? Are you a little old, perhaps, for some of the teenagers now?
25, he's getting old.
I don't feel too old. I mean, I can still get around pretty good, you know. And as far as the new guys, I've made the statement before that I think there's room for everybody. If some new guy can come along and get a break and make good, well, more power to him. I have no envy or jealousy because I'm only proud of the fact that I made it, you know.
Nobody's heard you sing publicly in a long time. Are you still in good voice?
I wouldn't say I was ever in good voice, but I did a lot of practicing at home in Germany. In fact, that's about all I did, because I didn't go out much, and I had some musical instruments and tape recorder and so forth.
What kind of songs did you sing for your friends, for yourself?
Well, all types. Some ballads, some rock and roll.
How about this adulation you get wherever you go from the teenage girls?
I think they said, can you give us an interviewer that has an IQ of at least 100 or 80? So what they did is they got 4 guys that had 20 of an IQ and put them all together, and there they are.
Yeah. You ever get a little bit tired of it and wish you could walk anonymously down the street?
No, sir, I wouldn't say that.
How do you feel about it?
Because I've been in the business now for about 6 years, and I've become quite used to it, you know. It's not.
You don't think it's silly on their part?
No, of course not. I was going to say it's not silly or anything.
Elvis, you've changed your haircut.
It's flattery, you know, and there's no entertainer in the world that doesn't like to be screamed at or yelled, you know. It's appreciation.
Elvis, it has been 2 years since you've appeared before an audience. Are you apprehensive about what must be a comeback?
Yes, I am. I mean, I have my doubts, you know. I'm not gonna commit myself in saying that I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that, because I don't know, actually. The only thing I can say is that I'm gonna try. I'll be in there fighting.
You're gonna stay in show business, or are you gonna be an author?
I'm gonna stay in show business. I can't even read my own writing. That's supposed to be an author, you know.
That was 5 years ago. He's still in show business, very much so. We'll follow the career of Elvis Presley again in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest is Miss Shelley Fabre. Hello there. Shelley, I remember that song from a few thousand years ago. That goes back to my vintage, not yours. My Prayer. Did you select the song?
No.
Well, was it? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah.
I'm trying to decide when this was made, and it's got to be sometime around Girl Happy, because she talks about the movie. So I was thinking this was like 60 when he got out of the army, but he's just put a bunch of clips together.
My husband, Lou Adler, did.
Well, which brings up to mind the fact that this is a new recording company called Dunhill Records. And now your hubby is in charge of this thing, isn't it?
Yes, he is.
Do you take his advice completely in the recording area?
Sure do.
Well, that's good. I hope you never have any arguments. When did you start singing?
Actually, back in 1961.
Why?
The producer of the Donna Reed Show wanted Paul Peterson and I to try recording to open up some new storylines for the Donna Reed Show for the following year.
Why?
Did you think this was a good idea at the time?
No.
What's that?
Why did you start singing? Because I hate it.
I hated it. I was terrified. But finally, we had to do it, so ahead we went.
So you have a two-way career going. Now, it's no secret, and I don't usually talk about people's ages, especially girls when they get to their 20s. You just turned 21?
Yes, in January.
All right, now you are of age. How many years have you been a professional entertainer?
Well, I actually started working modeling when I was around 4 years old.
Well, the girls will be interested because she just spent 2 or 3 months working with a fellow who is literally a legend in show business, a man named Elvis Presley. I really ought to take you over and throw you to the girls and let them ask you questions. How did you find him? Was he a pleasant man?
Yes, he's a very, very nice person. He's the epitome of a Southern gentleman. He's a lot of fun.
Now, wait a minute. You mentioned that you are married. Of course, I know Lou. Did you kiss Elvis during this picture?
Yes, we had a kissing scene in the movie.
What'd your husband say?
He didn't say anything. That's just my job.
You have a very liberal husband, I would think. Did you notice anything unusual about Elvis? Did he send you any presents or goodies along the line?
No. At the beginning of the picture, Elvis always sends the girls in the picture a bouquet of flowers, but that was all. But he always does that.
Well, you know, you just solidify and back up what everybody else says about the man. He must be a nice man to work with. When are you going to get your new house?
Well, I'm in the process of looking now. I've been looking for about 7 months, and it takes so long, I don't know if I'll ever find it. I hope in the next couple of months.
You'll be here in California?
Yes, definitely.
Would you do me a favor? Now, I normally don't do this, and this is a terrible thing to ask anybody in front of a few million people. Would you stand by and be a substitute performer for us today if it's necessary?
Be delighted to.
Because we still haven't got any word on Junior. I don't know where he is. But would that be all right with you? That's a terrible thing to throw at you, would you?
Don't be silly. I'd be glad to.
Because Lou called me before and he said if you can chat with Shelley about the new record, maybe we can do it. Okay? Shelley, thank you very much. Nice to have you with it.
That was interesting, though.
Yeah.
All right, now I got a little short video. We watched last week when we were watching Loving You. We did a little short video with Dolores Hart as the nun. It's the documentary "God is Bigger Than Elvis," which is really good. But I come across this interview with her, and it's really kind of cool. It's kind of like just off the cuff, and Mute it for a second.
And someone had come to me to say that this had happened. And I'd actually been anticipating that it might, because of the way he was living, and to put it better, the way that he wasn't living.
I have young arms that wanna hold you good.
When I knew Elvis, he wanted to do something with his career. He wanted to be an actor. He told me that. He wanted to do things like James Dean. He wanted to get a rich and an interesting part. They never gave him that. They just kept putting him to one girly film after the other, but it didn't make him come alive as an actor. It didn't give him a reason to want to live. I felt that when I saw his face become drawn and haggard, and I wondered, what is it about a great professional industry that will use someone like an Elvis who's got such gifts and use them personally and not give back to the person what they need. It's not a marriage, believe me.
What an elegant person. I can't.
Always respectful.
Yeah.
When she spoke to someone.
Yeah. I just got somebody just messaged me these, and I'm going to share these since it is Lisa's birthday. Where is it? I'm trying to find the slideshow one. Is that the slideshow? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be doing the jumpsuit poll here in a minute, but I want to. These are the flower. These flowers were placed at her grave today. Now, I mean, I don't really want to be harsh, but for somebody that wants to get back into the Elvis world, Donna could have spent a little bit more. Miss Pritchett could have spent a little bit more money.
Jeez.
Than picking flowers along the side of the road. And I don't think that's what she did. Hold on.
This is all for entertainment purposes only. Our comments are our opinions only. We make no claims as to fact, and the viewer should make their own opinions. All opinions are welcome on Elvis-A-Z. Thank you for your support.
So I got a question for you. Why would you just take, I don't know. Anyway, I don't need the aggravation. All right, you guys, we started our first jumpsuit poll when we didn't have a show last week, so it was 2 weeks ago that we started the jumpsuit. So we got 4 more. Last week's winner was this one. So this is the first winner of our probably long polls. That didn't even come up freaking right.
Long poles?
Okay, leave me alone. It was our first competition of jumpsuits. So these are the ones for this week. Right. Where's the slideshow? Do I have more slideshows up there? Okay. Okay, I need to get rid of this one. And I need to get rid of another one. Okay. So this week it's this one. It's the chain suit. It's the red ladder. I'm not for sure what that one is. Dylan can tell us if he's still around, which I doubt he is. With Steve's show going on. So if anybody knows, but this was the one that was on the back of the On Stage album that he was wearing. It's that suit. I'll just call it the macrame suit. I don't know what else to call it. And then of course the concho suit. So I picked ones from all the 70s, and I think what I'm going to do is send me in what you want to put in there. I'm just picking 4 from each. So I'm going to start picking 4 from each. So I'm going to do 71 next time is what I'm going to do. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to remove that right there. And so these are the numbers of the suits. There's 1, there's 2, look at that. Isn't that like magic? Let me get So we got 4 jumpsuits there. So starting from left to right, you got concho, macrame, red ladder, and jumpsuit. I mean, fucking jumpsuit.
And jumpsuits.
Yeah, so we got jump, rattle, and roll here, and a little bit of shaking.
And I thought I could fumble.
All right, so okay, you guys, I haven't pulled up the poll yet. Are you already? Okay, start. Pound. You got to hit pound 1 or is it called pound number something?
Yeah.
So look at that. Number 3, boom, red ladder. Fuck, what's wrong with me? I've been like this for 4 years now. Oh, wait a minute. I got something. I'm supposed to be doing something.
They're at the top of the stretch with the leaders. Who you gonna call? On the inside, Swingers Ruckus is second. We're not sure is closing ground third. Who you gonna call? We're not sure. Swingers Ruckus at the rail. Who you gonna call? We're not sure. We're not sure. Who you gonna call? It's the one entry. They're.
I thought that's it. Okay, what? 1, 2, and 4. You're. Oh, you can only that won't even register.
I know.
You have to do it 3 separate days. As a smart ass. Boy, there's a lot of votes coming in this week.
But I like all of them. But if I had to say my favorite is 4.
Yeah, I'm tight. I'm tight between 4 and 2. I really like that. It just was it was a no collar. And it just I think it has a lot to do with when I went down and bought the On Stage album when it came out, and that was on the back. And I sat there and I just looked at it. I thought, God, how cool is this guy? You know. All right, so here we go. All right, is it gonna be 1? Or is it gonna be 2?
Now we need Blue Moon Bob to come in here and give us the latest and greatest in the results of the most wonderful jumpsuit.
Oh, did I? You know what? I just remembered something. While you guys are voting, I'll give you guys a couple more seconds here. Where did I put that? Oh, Jesus! Don't tell me I didn't. Okay, well, I guess not. Well, maybe next time. I had Bodacious do a little intro for it. Well, I think we've got our winner. Thanks everybody. Very good. Hey Olga.
Hey Olga.
So jumpsuit too. My favorites didn't even get 1 freaking vote. Oh, jeez. Okay, wait a second. I got to at least put a vote in there. Is it going to come in there? Come on, count in there. It didn't even count. Maybe it won't take it. Oh, there we go. There's my vote. All right, guys. So we know. So we got a winner. Very cool. Thanks, guys. So this next week we will have. I don't need that one. Close that one. Close that one. Close that. Nope. Close that one. So we will have that one. That will be coming in. That'll be held off till we go. So I'm gonna do. I'll do. Well, it'd take forever to get through everything. So I'm gonna pick 4 more next week, probably from 71. Then we'll do 73, 74, 75, 76. So as long as you guys are voting, we'll just keep right on toting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Let me get rid of that. Now, Joe, screen share. No, that's not the right page. Okay. So you saw those, Lisa Marie, French. Okay, cool. I think I might be done with that page. Real quick, I uploaded this right here. So, add the scene. All right, guys. So, this is my little graphic for this thing. So, guess the word of the day during the show. There'll be a word said during the show, whether it's by me, by Cam, whether it's in a video. Well, no, don't take the videos. It'll be me, Cam, and whatever sound effects that I might put up might be a word in there, and actually, from Cam's video too. So I think there's a special word in Cam's video, and then there was then the other word. I'll probably have to put the picture of a. I don't know if I can get it back up there. Anyway, so the word of the day. We'll figure it out. Let me close that. And I have the slide and pull. We did that one. Where's my share window? Right here. So I got a couple little cool stories I want to read. I've been reading some stories about Elvis. So around 1944, Vernon began showing his son the basics of operating a car. Sitting beside Elvis in their old 1934 Ford, he patiently explained the controls and guided him through the motions. Elvis took to driving immediately. So we're talking about a 9-year-old here. Anytime his father suggested a short ride, the boy dashed outside with excitement. People in the neighborhood thought it was strange to see such a young child behind the wheel. Elvis was so small that he could hardly peer over the instrument panel. To manage the pedals, he had to put the seat as far back as possible, perch himself near the edge, and fully extend his legs. Whenever the Ford rolled past with no adult visible at the wheel, locals knew instantly who was driving.
Shame.
I thought that was a funny story. This is coming out of that book that was written that Will Hutchins started with Elvis, gave a forward to, and it's got some pretty cool stories in it. Some of them I kind of, I'm picking and choosing. And I got one more from the book. By the time Elvis reached 10, he and a group of friends got their hands on an air-powered pellet gun. Hanging around a nearby bus stop, the boys decided to cause trouble by firing rubber pellets at the unsuspecting older women who were waiting for the bus. The startled women cried out and spun around just in time to spot several boys fleeing the scene. One thin, fair-haired youngster still clutching the gun was easy to recognize. The mischief ended abruptly when Vernon happened to witness what was going on. He seized Elvis, hauled him away, and punished him for his behavior. The pellet gun was taken away, and Elvis never had access to it again. He was sitting shooting it. You know what? He was a typical boy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So who we got? Let me check on some comments here because I've missed 227 of them. Sorry. We got some new people in with us. So hello everybody. Silent SP100. Hello, Catherine. Lori. So everybody else, hey, Deffy's here. Cool story, huh? All right. So yesterday I kind of touched base on, and this is going to just be a real quick analysis, or just something that how I reacted to this. So I got an email regarding one of the topics that we talked about last night, and for some reason this person really can't comprehend why I was upset about something. And so it was a back and forth, and every time it came back forth, I'm flabbergasted, and I'm just like,
Oh, I am so flabbergasted today. Where's my coffee?
I just was like, anyway, it's just like it was ridiculous. I can't understand, and I just give up. Some people you just just short of drawing it out in cartoons, that was the only way I was going to be able to explain this thing, and I just let it go. I'm done. I ended. There's not going to be any more chain of conversation with it because I don't need that heartache. But I was laughing my ass off the whole time. I'm just like, I don't know, you guys. Am I hard to understand? When I know that I'm not. Maybe it's the southern accent. Maybe that's what people think. Oh, he's got to be a little Barney Fife there, a Gomer. I think people really get that impression that Southern people don't have intelligence, and yet they're Elvis fans who was a Southerner. Just like,
Mm-hmm.
and I find it hilarious. It's just kind of scary too because I have two kids that are within that probably that generation that this person's in, and I just fear what I see, and I don't have I'm not gonna say I don't want to say anything negative about the generation, but I'm praying, because there's such an entitlement in this world that it's crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just not that generation. I'm a baby boomer. I was born in '58, and I'm proud of my generation, because and I'm proud of it because the time period I grew up with music. That's the most I'm proud about is the music that I was able to grow up with. Jesus, the bands I saw in my life in concert.
Oh, that's what I. The whole time something was working on me, like something's missing from the screen. And I'm like, what the hell? I just figured it out. It's the GoFundMe thing. I'm
Oh,
like, where the hell did. I'm like, and I changed back and I'm like, no, it's not this. Then I look and no, it's not that. And I thought, okay, maybe I'm going crazy. Hey, Scooby Doo!
hmm. That's strange because it's supposed to. Yeah, I must have hit the. That's my fault if that's the case. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong scene. Where is it? You're right. When I went through everything, it didn't copy everything over. I'm sorry, man.
No, that's no problem.
Okay, I'm going to put it in there right now because what's in here. Maybe the new screens I put in there didn't realize it was covering stuff. 'Cause that's been there. It was there last week.
Yeah,
It may be that. Where the hell did it go? Sorry, guys. This is when we. There we go. Voila.
bada bing, bada boom.
Yep. So there it is right there. And the link will also be in the description. So it comes up automatically.
That's just my ADD.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, call me out on it because I'm actually I'm a little upset about it.
No, that's okay.
Um, Vangelo. Yeah, I agree. It's just people don't take responsibility today. I just anyway. I'm sorry. I'm kind of sidetracked now with that. Okay, I got a couple of other videos here, but the just keep in mind, think of what word we could say, and you'll get what we're planning on doing is doing 10 of your favorite songs on our radio show on Friday at noon. And whether you can listen or not, we'll still dedicate it to you over the radio. It's not like we have millions of listeners, but it's just kind of a cool thing to add to it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this woman, I'm gonna share, and is the person. She was involved. I don't know what the hell that is. She was involved in the production of the Elvis in concert from '77, and it's interesting some of the comments she makes and how she talks about it. And I think part of it she talks about what an ass Colonel. And I think this might be the run. It's with a woman called Annette Wolf. I thought you guys would.
Elvis performed more than 1,000 concerts from 1969 until his death in 1977, crisscrossing the United States again and again, filling arenas and stadiums. They say he never played to an unsold seat. Critics, though, have always said that the last few years were less than stellar for Elvis. He was overweight, he was addicted to prescription drugs, but still had enough drawing power that a television special was planned for later that year. Now, a number of shows were recorded in June of 1977. And as it turns out, that would be Elvis's last concert tour. He was scheduled to appear in Portland, Maine on August 17th, but died at home the day before. Now, our guest tonight played a key role in the production of that television special, which was called simply Elvis in Concert. We're delighted to welcome acclaimed filmmaker Annette Wolf to the program tonight. I want to thank you so much for coming in tonight.
Well, thank you for having me.
You were already an established documentary and filmmaker when you were approached about this project. So what was going through your mind when they offered you a chance to work with Elvis Presley?
Not so much.
Not so much?
Because I wasn't a fan of his.
Really?
I was Miles Davis and Frank Sinatra and those kind of gentlemen.
Not your kind of music?
No, it wasn't. And then, of course, the record company sent over a humongous big box with all his recordings. Mm-hmm. And I sat there listening to record after record. Not before I got to the Gospels did I fall in love with Elvis.
Interesting. So you were responsible for a lot of the behind-the-scenes footage that was shot for this television special. And early on, you had a run-in with Colonel Tom Parker, Elvis's legendary manager. Tell us about that.
Well, it was a rather bizarre moment in my life. We were all standing waiting for him to turn up in the arena, and they were all setting up for tonight's show. And he would turn up with this cigar, chewing on this very weird cigar, and everybody stood, you know, frozen, actually. And that was the producers, and that was CBS, the honchos from CBS, everybody froze. And I didn't know him, and I hadn't paid a lot of attention to who he really was, and I always said, Colonel? Really? Where did that come from? And my crew and I, we were sort of standing to the left of what was happening, and he turned up and he looked at everybody, and then he zoomed in on me. And he said, oh, you're the lady. I said, I think so. And he said, now you listen very, very, very carefully to me, lady. You are not allowed to do anything, nothing with Elvis except I tell you and give you permission. You are not allowed to call him. You are not allowed to talk to him. Your crew and you are not allowed anywhere near him without my permission.
You know, I get a feeling that Parker must have really had must have been very insecure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, definitely. He was afraid of what some people might ask.
He was afraid that people would. Also, I'm sure he was afraid that Elvis was going to walk one day. He knew. He knew.
Oh, yeah, he knew his days were counted.
Understand that, lady.
Sounds pretty clear.
I like this.
And everybody was sort of waiting for me to react, and they thought I was going to be humble and nice and say, well, of course, Colonel Parker. So I said, excuse me, is your name Colonel Parker? And he said, yeah, and chewed away on the cigar. And I said, well, my name is Annette Wolf, and I am a lady. And everybody thought, now it's going to cost us millions of dollars. The man is going to walk off. He's going to take Elvis with him. Mm-hmm. But he just took one look at me and chewed hysterically on this cigar butt he had and turned around and walked away.
Interesting.
From that moment on, he called me every morning at 7 o'clock and said, it's me. This is what you can do today.
Fascinating. You've said that one of the most poignant moments for you was shooting Elvis backstage, just prior to going on stage. Tell us a little bit about that sequence.
I don't like
Well, it became a very poignant moment. My cameraman and I, we were very close and we'd worked together for many years at that time. Don Stern, who was a magnificent cameraman. He and I, we decided that we would walk with Elvis to the stage entrance. So Don walked backwards and I held him around him to make sure that he didn't fall or stumble over something. And we walked very slowly backwards as Elvis at that time had grown accustomed to us and he liked us. So he trusted us. So he just kept on walking and we kept on being very close around him. And then when he got to the stairs leading up to the...
Who's that directly behind him? Is that Ed Parker?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
Ed Parker and there's Larry there.
Yeah. Larry's not hard to figure out, but it was real quick. I thought, you know.
Stage, he stopped and we were very close on him and he reached out for his Coca-Cola, took a sip and handed it out. And then the makeup artist did a little bit of last finishing off with his makeup. And then he bowed his head and prayed.
Prayed.
And that was, of course, the moment where we were very, very close. And then he lifted his head, made that sign of his, and off he went.
Off he went.
And that became probably a very, very important moment because it showed everybody that he was a devout Christian.
And a lot more humble, maybe, than people would think because he was so supremely confident on the stage.
He was very, very lovely and a very kind man.
So you would see him regularly during this 2-week period. What would you talk about with Elvis?
We didn't talk. We had this little thing going on that I was still a redhead in those days, not an old lady with white hair, but I was a redhead. And he would always recognize the camera and me next to the camera. So he would come always towards me and you said, "Hello, darling."
Hello.
And I would say, "Hello, Elvis." And then he would give me a little squeeze of my hand and then walk away.
And walk away. I have to ask you this, and I know you've been asked this before, and we know it's well documented. He was abusing a lot of drugs at this time. We know he was taking thousands of prescription pills. Did you ever see him take anything?
No.
No.
I can categorically say no.
Thank you very much.
When we were together, whenever we were allowed by Colonel Parker to shoot whatever we were doing, he was always there. He was either rehearsing or he was coming out of his limousine or he was
He never seemed to be strung out?
No,
no.
no.
Okay.
The only time I realized that something was wrong with him was at one of the concerts, I can't remember which one, but he...
What'd you say, Kim?
This guy, so you never saw he was never really like strung out or anything?
There's got to be oh shit, I hit that thing by mistake. It was right about there. What do you want to say? There's got to be a Hall of Fame for stupid fucking interviewers. There's got to be more there than there are in the good ones.
And
so
he
you
was
would
like
see...
so disappointed when she said no.
Yeah, he wanted.
So he was never like strung out or anything, and she was like no, and he's okay.
Yeah, he didn't have one of those moments for TV, you know.
Him regularly during this 2-week period. What would you talk about?
Yeah, you're right.
We didn't talk. We had this little thing going on that I was still a redhead in those days, not an old lady with white hair, but I was a redhead. And he would always recognize the camera and me next to the camera. So he would come always towards me and you said, "Hello, darling."
Hello.
And I would say, "Hello, Elvis." And then he would give me a little squeeze of my hand and then walk away.
And walk away. I have to ask you this, and I know you've been asked this before, and we know it's well documented. He was abusing a lot of drugs at this time. We know he was taking thousands of prescription pills. Did you ever see him take anything?
No.
No.
I can categorically say no. When we were together, whenever we were allowed by Colonel Parker to shoot whatever we were doing, he was always there. He was either rehearsing, or he was coming out of his limousine, or he was...
He never seemed to be strung out?
Nope,
No.
no.
Okay.
The only time I realized that something was wrong with him was at one of the concerts, I can't remember which one, but he suddenly forgot some of his lines.
Some of the lyrics, yeah. And there were moments of pure brilliance in those shows.
I heard from people who are Elvis aficionados that they said that his voice had never been more beautiful.
Very rich and powerful.
Especially when he sang his gospels.
Mm.
That was the
I
moment
love
I
that
think
comment.
that he was close to God, he was close to his mother, and of course he always said this thing, I mean, the one woman who meant the most to him in his life, is his mother.
You told me that you got the sense later, in retrospect, that he almost seemed ready to go.
I think so. I think he was there for everybody else, and he kept on putting on a brave face. I think he was tired. I think he was, that good old English word, weary.
Weary.
He was weary.
Over the years, the Elvis estate has released mountains of material, unreleased material, yet they've held off on releasing the entire Elvis in concert performance. They've always said Elvis was sick, the implication being we don't really want people to remember
You're not going
him
to
that
get your
way.
scoop, dude.
As someone who worked on that program,
No.
do you think it should have been released or should be released now, 40 years later?
Well, I was showing clips
It's amazing the guy doesn't have a southern accent.
mainly from my part of the show
Right.
in Bad Nauheim last year in front
can
of,
say that.
I think, maybe was it 1,000 or 1,500 Elvis
concession.
Presley fans. They all loved every minute of it. And they all said, yes, he was overweight. Yes, he was sweaty. Yes, he was maybe not remembering his lyrics or whatever. But it didn't matter because the dynamic that came from this man and the love that they showed him still 40 years later in Bad Nauheim, I think that what CBS should have done originally, they should have simply said, okay, let's cut the show. Let's make it shorter. Let's take the best, and I had already told them which angles I thought was good enough, and then fill it up with more of our documentary material, make it more like a day in Elvis's life on tour.
Right.
Then they could have done it, but it was too late, and
That
they
would have been
didn't.
cool, really,
and the concert footage, a lot of it was unusable.
And it's most of it's on YouTube now anyway. In
It
various
is,
versions,
it is,
yeah,
and I don't know. I think that I don't know what CBS is doing to celebrate him this time of the 40 years after his death. I know that HBO, I heard, has they have produced a very, very big documentary about him. But I think that the time is gone, the time has passed. I think this is a moment in Elvis's and my life, actually, where two people who didn't know each other, who never got to know each other, but who had an understanding of mutual respect. And I will always respect him, and I will always remember him as this kind, wonderful man who had so much humanity.
Will the world ever get tired of hearing about Elvis Presley, do you think?
Unless we blow up within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think that Elvis will always be Elvis.
He'll always
And he will remain an icon, beloved.
Perfect place to leave it. I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight, Annette.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. I was a bozo as an interviewer, but thank you so much for listening to my BS.
You know what I get out of this? And I hear it time and time again over, it's like with the lady, what was it? What was the lady's name in Jane, something that was in Change of Habit, who wasn't a fan of Elvis, that didn't really like him. Thought he was, she had that preconception that a lot of people have. And then there's been other people. I've always heard the same thing. It's just like, no, I wasn't a fan, but I'm a fan now. It's amazing that you get these people, and you don't get these people, with exception of a few people that we know, that knew that loved Elvis, and worked with him in movies or whatever, and didn't lose that. There's a very small handful of people, that you know and unfortunately there were a couple of them that were in his close circle, in the you know
Mm.
yeah, the MMMs.
Thank you, Charlie. Jane Elliott.
I trust me. This is tea. This is green tea. Trust me. No. All right. I do have one more video. If guys want to hang around, this is actually of interviews for the BBC, and some of you might have seen this before. And I don't think I've showed it. But it's called Elvis, the Beauty King, and Me. And somebody recommended it. I thought I'd play it. And I don't think I've played it before, but it looks kind of interesting. And the beauty queen they're talking about is obviously Linda Thompson. So this woman became friends with her, and I've never really knew this lady, but most of you probably out there will know who I am talking about. What?
Let's see. Let's test out a theory. Seeing as though we're playing a word game, right?
Okay.
I have a word that consists of 4 letters, right? Make up the entire word is 4 letters long. 2 of the letters are repeated in the same word, and in the middle of the word, one of the letters is doubled. What word am I speaking of? And whether you read it from right to left or left to right, it still reads the same word.
So that's the one we're gonna go with. Okay, that's cool. All right, I don't know. Are you gonna text it to me? Let me know.
Yeah, I just did.
My God damn. Okay.
It's clever though.
Okay, for those of you who watch our Friday night show, you'll probably get this. Oh no, I don't know. Somebody, but the thing is, it has to have been said during the show.
Yes,
That's the
but
whole.
this is just an extra added. Let's see if
Oh, I
someone
see.
will get it.
Okay,
It's
so the word that I've got in here, it has been said already, and it will be said again. And then sometime during the time of the show, if you put in the chat that word, we're going to do that 10-song tribute dedication to you on our radio show. And well, if you can't watch it or whatever, but it'd be kind of nice to be able to start doing like little dedication on the show, because it goes out to a lot of areas: UK, Canada, Mexico, United States, and it's Elvis 24/7. There's my promo. All right, here it is: Elvis and the Beauty Queen, Elvis, the Beauty Queen, and I, or me. Okay.
You've got to give me credit though. It's very clever.
What, the word thing?
The word, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's actually one my dad asked me years and years and years and years ago. And it took me forever to figure out what the word was. But when he showed me it, I was like, my goodness, that's damn clever.
Yeah. I keep thinking about it, that freaking email I got. I made me a little thing here, but I'll have to find it later. Jesus. All right, let's get to the movie. I need to let it go. What the hell? How long is this intro?
You paused it.
No, that's paused.
Oh.
In
case they read slow.
No, it wasn't.
like it back to you.
Jeannie, I'd like to first of all say hello, and how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Welcome to the UK. It's very nice of you to come all the way over from America to make this DVD with us. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are not aware of your connection with the one and only Elvis Presley. Perhaps it'd be a good idea if you could take us back to how that connection started. It started, if I'm right, with a beauty contest.
Yes, well, it first started when I was Miss Rhode Island Universe in 1972, and I became roommates with Linda Thompson in the Miss USA pageant. And it's pure fate because those girls are put together randomly. I think they do try to put the North and the South together, but I was lucky that I happened to have Miss Tennessee as the Southern state. So we do believe that was fate, and we hit it off beautifully, became like sisters, and I have a twin, so I can say that.
I have to pause for a second because Patty got the word of the day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well
You got
done.
it, Patty.
Comfortably. She was just a love. She was beautiful, she was talented, and just charming and funny. So we got along beautifully. So after the pageant, she actually said to me, why don't we get an apartment together? And she said, but somebody's going to have to move. And she said, you know, you'd love Memphis. She said, it's wonderful. There are really cute guys that live there. And she said, and Elvis lives there. And I said, really? And I said, I didn't know that. I knew he lived in some southern state, but I really didn't know where. So I said, yeah, okay, we'll try that. I'll make the arrangements. So made all the arrangements, gave notice at work, said I was leaving. And so July 1st, 1972, I arrived in Memphis, and Linda greeted me with her family, and they had a big sign up at the airport, and it said, welcome, Jeannie, Miss Rhode Island. Her Aunt Betty, Uncle Steve, and the children Laurie and Brenda and David greeted me, and they were just marvelous. So that was July 1st, and on July 6th, we went to lunch one day. We were going to lunch, and she said, where would you like to go to lunch? She said, Lafayette Restaurant or Fridays, which was next door. And at the time, Rhode Island didn't have any Fridays restaurants. I don't know if they have any in the UK, but it's kind of a red and white kind of checkered look to it, and outdoor dining and all that, you know, bar area, and it looked like fun. So I said, let's go there. And if we hadn't gone there, none of this would have happened. So I think also that was fated. And we walked in. Of course, the place is packed. Everybody's milling around. And so this gentleman named Bill Browder came up to her, and they're chatting away. And of course, I was still Miss Rhode Island, and she was Miss Tennessee, and she knew everybody, you know, including him. And at the time, he was a record producer. He became T.G. Shepherd. He changed his name and he became a singer and sang Devil in the Bottle. And that was one of his hits. But at the time, he was a record producer, and I guess he knew some celebrities. So he asked her, I didn't really hear this, but he asked her if that, you know, he said, Elvis is in town, and how would we like to meet Elvis? And I didn't know this. She told me after, she said, well, you know, Bill asked us if we wanted to meet Elvis at the Memphian Theater that he rents out at midnight. And I said, yeah, sure. I said, Linda, he probably just, you know, wants to ask you out, and this is his way of impressing you. So she was this young little innocent girl, and she didn't I think, believe that, but that was, I'm very protective, and that's in my mind, being from the North. I just felt that was the way that this was going to go. So I said, okay, I said, we'll go. Well, we were supposed to model fur coats that night, and this is kind of funny. Linda said, well, we really should do this, and I guess this was one of her obligations for the pageant through her director. And I said, Linda, I said, how many opportunities do we get to meet Elvis? I said, we are going. So she got her cousins, Lori and Brenda, to model the fur coats. And I don't think her director ever forgave her for it, but I think eventually she did under the circumstances. But when we got there, when we arrived at the Memphian, we walked in to the lobby, and Bill Browder was with a girl. And so that calmed me right down. I thought that, wow, apparently he was telling the truth. I mean, this is wonderful. So we're still all milling around, and all of a sudden, Elvis comes crashing through the doors with Red West. And I mean, it just kind of startled me, and he kind of like, stopped for like a minute, but he was dressed with the black cape and with the red satin lining and the high-collared white shirt. And I just kind of poked Linda and said, he looks like Dracula, don't you think? And it's just, to me, I said, wow, he really is dressing like the king of rock and roll here. But because of, the high collar and the red, it kind of, was funny. And he looked beautiful. He looked absolutely beautiful. And it was a vision. It was really a vision. And so he went into the main area with the seats. And we all followed him. It's like everybody follows the king. And he sat about 10 rows down, and he had about a couple of girls, couple of guys with him, but mostly girls, obviously. And so when Linda and I were starting to walk down, that's when Bill Browder said, Elvis, I'd like you to meet Linda Thompson, Miss Tennessee, and this is her friend Jeannie LeMay, Miss Rhode Island. And he said, pleased to meet you, and all that. And that's all that was said at that point. And so, that I remember. And then, so Linda and I sat down, like I said, about 10 rows in back of him. And she was almost at the end of the aisle. There was one seat vacant. And I don't know if she did that deliberately. I just thought maybe she did do that deliberately. I don't know. But anyway, I sat on.
I don't know. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't know how long I can sit here with her voice.
She's okay. I get used to it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just. Anyway, I'm thinking.
On the side of.
I'm thinking right now your word might work.
And George Klein came and sat with us. Actually, I think as the movie was starting, and it was a karate movie. I don't know what the title was. Believe me, I have no clue. But George was sitting there, and they were carrying on this conversation, and Linda did say something. Oh, I'm sorry. She did say before the movie started. That's right. My aunt told me to tell you that she didn't blame you for leaving the Lauderdale courts because she got out of there also. Okay, because obviously we all know he lived in Lauderdale courts, and it was a poor section to live in, and he seemed to be intrigued by her confidence because she was so animated and bubbly and not intimidated whatsoever. And that's all I remember about that. And like I said, when George came and sat down, it was very comfortable, very relaxed. I really didn't hear what they were talking about, so I can't tell you. But all of a sudden, Elvis, because he kept turning around, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he gets up and he goes to the back. And I thought he was going to get popcorn, candy or something. And George Klein flew out of the chair in the middle of the conversation. And I know they had some kind of signals, about women, if they were safe or not, or whatever. But all I know is, instead of George coming back to sit down Elvis came and plopped right in the chair. And just without hesitation, Linda said, I mean, because he just plopped, and I kind of like jolted, like, wow, to myself. And she, without hesitation, I mean, it just goes to show you what kind of confidence this girl had, said, to what do we owe this honor? Very, very cocky.
Yeah.
And Elvis, was taken aback, I guess, because nobody talks to Elvis like this, and said, stuttering, I just thought I'd sit down. And, I was like poking her like, you can't talk like that to Elvis Presley. And I mean, she said she had bruises because of all the poking that I did. And I'm sure of it because, I mean, I was so mad at her. And so when we were sitting there, I do remember.
That guy looks so bored.
One point, because I didn't hear the whole conversation, but I did hear her say, we're dressed a little like Dracula, aren't we? And I gave her a poke in the gut. Again, I mean, I must have really, I thought I broke a rib when at that point because, I think he just laughed. I'm going to say laughed because I'm in England right now. I love it here. And, it just goes to show that she really knew how to handle this guy, and she was a wit. A total wit, and understandably, because the girl can write songs, and I mean, she wrote poetry ever since she was a little girl. And she even told her dad, I mean, she said this in many, many interviews, that when she was 8 years old, she said, Daddy, she said, if I can't marry you, she said, I'm going to marry Elvis Presley.
That's
and I thought that was precious.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I did. He was intrigued, I think, that she had the confidence to talk to him like that, and I think that is what really appealed to him and made him think that this was a girl who had his number, so to speak, and knew how to handle him. And so they started a little conversation, and he started to get a little friendly, and he started to put his arm around the chair, and his fingers were touching my shoulders, and thank God I have broad shoulders because, it was like I was going like this. No, I'm kidding. But I couldn't believe that this was Elvis Presley, and sitting there, and it was touching my shoulder, and I was just so. I was intimidated. I was. She wasn't. So I was thrilled beyond words, and I didn't know what to say. I was just so like wanting her to say the right things and not blow this whole thing. And I was like, please, don't upset this man, and he's going to go away. But he was trying to kiss her then, and I could tell he was trying to like nuzzle up to her and kiss her, and all of a sudden. He said something like, honey, you think I'm married, don't you? And she said, well, aren't you? And he said, no. He said, I've been separated for a couple of months. And then she tackled him. No, I'm kidding. Then she relaxed a little bit. So, but I mean, they didn't go into this extreme lip lock or anything like that. I mean, I really don't even think he kissed her on the lips at all. I think he was just like kind of like kissing her neck and maybe a little bit on the cheek and all that stuff. So, It was just wonderful. So he did, during this conversation, invite her to Graceland the next night, the two of us, to Graceland the next night. I didn't know this until we actually walked out. And she said, we're invited to Graceland. I said, you've got to be kidding.
Oh,
And this would be it.
Nashville's been out of power for a week? Holy crap, I didn't know that. Sorry, guys, for all of you out there still suffering through this weather.
Geez, that woman's got VD.
What's that?
Verbal diarrhea. It's like, shit.
Friday night.
Yeah, take a breath now and then.
It's actually, it was July 6th that we technically were supposed to meet him, but you figure if it's midnight, it was midnight that we met him. It was actually July 7th.
Yeah, what's that
so it's still July 7th now. It's a Friday night, and we were invited to Graceland, and so we we started screaming, in the parking lot when she told me, and so excited. And so when we pulled up to the gate, of course, Uncle Vester let us in, and she had this little blue Vega that was a gift from one of the beauty pageants, and she and I was like shaking like leaves on a tree, and especially me. And I can still tell you what we wore. I had this long dress on. Back then we wore long dresses, and it had a slit, and it was like a kind of a sailor type outfit that I had. And she had this long dress that I think she borrowed from her director of her pageant. It said, I love you all over it. And typical. And so we went to the door, and to be honest with you, I don't know who greeted us at the door, if it which maid it was, or if it was one of the guys. I can't remember. I think it was one of the guys, but all I remember is Red was there. Ricky Stanley came later. We were let in, and we sat down in the jungle room. And at the time, it didn't have a lot of the furniture that became the famous jungle room. There was a green sofa, and they removed that later on. But that's where we sat. And I remember Red being there, and I really didn't know anybody else, and I can't tell you which maid was there, because being so nervous and not knowing anybody, believe me, you're in a state of shock. I was just so thrilled. And, so then it was about maybe 15, 20 minutes. Elvis comes down, and he's got this beautiful white shirt, and this fancy belt, I think from Vegas, one of the fancy belts from Vegas. And, he just looked absolutely gorgeous. He was 37, if I'm not mistaken, back then. And he just looked splendid. So, he says, come on, girls, we're going to go, for a tour. And so he took us through the trophy room, and, he's showing us all the different, trophies and the gold records and all that. And I remember, because I was always, fascinated by the movies, and I just said, well, what was your favorite movie? And he said, I'd say King Creole. He said, because he looked at Red, he says, right, Red, because they really let me act in that one.
Like,
And so, I agree, because, I mean, if you really watch that, he did put a lot into that. I think he's underestimated as an actor, and I think we all feel that way. He wasn't given a chance. And then he said something to Red. He said the most fun, he said, was probably Clam Bake, and that was one of my favorite movies. I love that because I liked Shelley Fabre.
All right.
Because I remember loving Girl Happy, and I bought the soundtrack, and I like Spin Out. Everyone that
There's an interviewer looks like a little chubby Conan O'Brien. Who is this woman? Her name is Jenna something. She talked about her time when she was good friends with Linda.
Patty, gee, I can't imagine why Elvis didn't want her.
The guy is only looking at her puppies.
that Shelley Fabre, I don't know what it was, but I think they really had a nice rapport. I heard they got along very, very well. So he said they had a water fight with the mayor, and that's why they had a good time on the set. So he said that was one of their most fun times. So we decided to take pictures. So I had my trusty little $15 Kodak Instamatic camera that I got at Woolworths. And I can't believe that you people still have Woolworth stores here, because ours are all closed. So I was very excited to see one because it brings back a lot of memories. And of course, it was all because of that camera that I got some very, very infamous shots. But so I said, I want to get some pictures. So Elvis and Linda stood there at the front door, and he started to kiss her and carry on. And I kept snapping away. And then I said, well, I want a picture too. So Red grabbed the camera, and I stood there smiling. And Elvis just, turned around, grabbed me, and laid a kiss on me like you would not believe. A real kiss, not a little peck on the cheek, a real kiss. And my knees buckled. Not just because he was Elvis Presley, because the man was the best kisser you could ever imagine, and only a woman that has kissed this man would know, and all the women that I've talked to that have really kissed him know. I mean, how can you miss?
Has the interviewer even asked the question since the first one? I haven't heard his voice.
For the last about 18 minutes, he's been sitting there every now and again. He goes, okay, okay, okay. But she don't.
I tell you what,
She
he's got to
don't.
be the smartest interviewer because he's next.
He can't get a word in edgeways.
I call it, first of all, he's got the most sensuous lips in the world, and he's got the dreamy bedroom eyes. So right there, he's golden. But I mean, he's got these pillow type lips that are just like cushy, and you just want to chew them. And to kiss that, oh, it was just, and I had to be calm because, I mean, I'm not the type of person that.
Every time I see him, his hair gets higher.
And he's sitting there with this expression.
Would try to steal my best friend's man anyway. And I know Elvis did not do this out of disrespect. I want to make that clear. He did it to shock me and to give me a thrill, which he did. And he loved to kiss. He was a lover. Elvis, was a lover. We all know that. And he gave me a thrill, absolutely, positively. And I was just absolutely ecstatic. So then he said, we're going for a ride, he said, around the grounds. So we hopped in the golf cart, and he was driving. Linda was on the side, and I was sitting in the back, no cushion, with Red West. And here we are with these long dresses. And Elvis was a danger is an understatement on danger on wheels or hell on wheels.
Okay.
I mean, we were flying all around Graceland, going down these steps, going flying, and I mean my backside was just a mess. I bruised very, very easy, and I'm going, he's going to kill us. He's going to kill us. And then what he does apparently with everybody when he takes you for a ride, he went over the old cornrows and very, very.
You see what I mean? Every time you come back, that hair right there gets a little taller. They may have filmed this over a period of about 3 weeks. His hair grew out.
Sore on your backside. So I wasn't too happy about that, but I can't believe I didn't fall off. I mean, Red protected me well. Red is was an excellent bodyguard, really. It was fun, though. It was fun. I mean, you're with Elvis, who cares? And you're going flying by the gate, and of course the fans were all excited, screaming, like these lucky girls. And you're saying to yourself, is this really happening? Honestly. So after that, we sat down, and all of a sudden Elvis said, we'll be back. So he takes Linda's hand and they go upstairs. And so me being very protective of Linda, knowing she's this sweet little innocent virginal creature that she was a wreck. I just thought that he was going to take advantage of her because I said, this is Elvis Presley. I mean, I can't, believe that this is happening, and I can't really do anything about it. So I was a little upset, and we were supposed to leave. This was probably because we went there kind of late. So I'm thinking this was around maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe. And so we were supposed to leave at about 3 o'clock in the morning to go to Gulf Shores, Alabama with Linda's family. There was going to be about 13 of us in all, about 3 carfuls of people. It's a place that they rent out like a little cottage on the beach every year, and they still do. I talked to Laurie, and they said they still do this, which I think is fantastic. But we were supposed to, be home, and she's upstairs now, and I'm getting very nervous. So I said to Red, finally, because I just couldn't relax. Ricky Stanley came in and other people. They were all milling around, and I was drinking, I don't know, Diet Coke or something. And I said, Red, can I?
Okay, here's the ultimate question. Can anybody? There's still 33 minutes of this woman.
Oh God! It feels like I've run the gauntlet.
I think we take a vote here. Yay for keep going. No for positive. We'll split it in half. Or you can have a chance to. It's actually quite funny.
Yeah.
Is she talking
She's
about day
talking
two?
about day 2. No, I don't think we've got there yet, Lori.
So it's up to you guys. You want to keep going? We got 33 more minutes of her.
Motor mouth.
Yeah. If not, then we'll stop it and we'll just chat and call it a day. I think I've got everything covered. No. You want to keep going?
Yeah.
And a few minutes later, no. See, I gotta find that one. I gotta do this one. I'm sorry. I just gotta do this one. As soon as I can find the damn thing. Okay, maybe I don't have it in here. Like everything else. I do need to clean some of the stuff we don't use anymore. All right, well. It looks like no. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Okay. Back. All right. Say bye-bye to Jenny. Jenna.
Bye, Jenny.
Bye, Jenny. Sayonara. That was quite humorous. Actually, I can't take much of her. I can't take much more of her. I thought the little short videos that we did today with Dick Clark, with that Annette lady, that was really good. I like that Elvis in concert interview.
Yeah. Can you see? Can you see why she's not invited to Graceland to speak? No, they would have to get all those people accommodation.
She'd go up there to speak, and it'd be like 3 days later. She'd still be
five.
I do read her book though. I'll research that and get a hold of that because I like books like that. So
in her case, it's like 5 months later.
Yeah. So Patty, email me or message me your 10 songs that you want, and we'll play it on the radio show at noon, and maybe we'll just throw it in on the midnight show too. We'll do it on the 12 o'clock show, and actually we got the Tuesday. Are we gonna still do the 9 o'clock Tuesday? Or you find or
yeah.
I just want to make sure because that's what we did last week. We didn't have a whole lot of viewers, but it was fun. But maybe we just do the Friday ones, noon and the midnight one.
Okay.
Okay, so send me your list of the 10 songs that you want us to play, and we'll play them on both shows that night. And I also record these shows, so I'm gonna take them and make some clips out of them and share with everybody. I'm moving here, guys. I'm going up the elevator. So there's a few changes here, and actually we just made one change right now. So this is what's happening this week. Okay, isn't that the? Oh, there we go. It's locked. That's why. Okay, let me get this. All right, so this was today. This was the coffee date. Mondays, well, we just decided we're not going to do that anymore. So 2 down, 5 to go. Okay, so now on Tuesday on our movie night, that we're doing the 3 o'clock on Tuesday, and since they didn't get to see the making of the Jailhouse Rock, we're going to show that too with it because we showed it on the 8 o'clock show, but we live streamed Baz's dramatic live thing. I don't know,
quote unquote public ramble.
Yeah. So Tuesday, King Creole in the making of Jailhouse Rock. So that's Tuesday. And then we're doing the Decoded on Wednesday. We're at page, 90, something like that. This will be episode 7. So we're averaging 10 pages of
an episode.
An episode. Okay, and then Thursday for the 8 o'clock show for the Zoom movie. And that's going to be, I'm going to, some people may not have got a chance to see it. So I'm going to replay it. I'm going to play the. You know what the hell? This is I didn't change up Jailhouse Rock. I should say King Creole. The notification. Man, I'm a whiz lately. You know that. Maybe I am a dumb old redneck. Okay, and then the nooner on Friday. Then we do the midnight show, and of
Mm-hmm.
course, yesterday's Inside the Studio was always on my mind, and then we'll have episode 48. Um, might have a little treat. We might be stepping out of 72, going to 73 for a moment. And hopefully it works and it goes through. If not, we'll have. I don't know. I think it'll go through because I've already got the video up there. We're going to do all the takes that Elvis did after the live Aloha, where he sits there and he sings does all the takes of those songs that they input into it. So
Yeah.
so it's going to be No More, Blue Hawaii, Hawaiian Wedding Song, and Early Morning Rain. I think are the ones, and it's all the takes, but it's a video one.
Mm.
We're going to see it and listen to the take. So it's going to be like we're actually going to be in the studio with Elvis, filming it, watching it.
Mm.
So that's a special episode for this Saturday's Inside the Studio. All the takes. It's about 35, maybe 45 minutes worth of takes. And of course, we're going to stop at each one and talk about it. So, I'm excited about it. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
So if y'all can join us, that'd be cool. All right, and then I did my gospel hour this morning, 10 o'clock. I had fun. Had some nice requests, and I had more viewers this week than we have on some of the others. So I'm really pushing. I'm trying to create some promos for these things and put them out there. So fun, and then we're back to that one. By the way, the Grayson Epic vinyl is officially sold out. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
When I ordered the MP3 download from Amazon, I haven't really been buying many of the vinyls because I haven't been able to play my turntable as much. But I might start buying some of the vinyls too if I could afford it. But right,
Mhm.
well, actually, I'm not going to do that right now because I'm saving for Memphis. I think it's
Memphis.
561 days. Oh, thank you, Patty. Yeah, it was fun. We had some great requests, and I enjoyed it. And we opened up. Oh, what I never thought about doing this, but we opened up with the live version that he won the Grammy for of "How Great Thou Art" from Memphis.
Wow.
That's how we opened the show.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then we rolled right into "Why Don't You Swing Down to Jerry."
Oh.
Yeah, it was a fun show. I got it recorded too, so I'm going to tweak out some clips from it and maybe do a replay on the radio show or make it available for people who want a copy of it. If you want a copy of any of the shows, let me know. Well, starting with this one because I don't have the other ones recorded. Amazon has the orange yellow still available. Yeah, it's just the first movie is only about 35 minutes. It talks about the making of Jailhouse Rock, and then King Creole. So, anyways, I still got more stuff going, planned. Just trying to get the word out about the radio show. My webpage is totally up to date. I updated it this morning, and so it tells you what's happening this week. You can go to each page, and it'll tell you what's happening today, what's coming up for the radio show, and decoded the book chats and all that. I'm going to start adding more pages for information. So it comes with my Canva, which I absolutely love. I created, just to let you know, I created that video for Cam with Canva, and it was so freaking easy. The graphics I do with that. The other song from the Aloha after show recording was Thank You. I knew there was another one. Ku
Mhm.
Ipo. I can't. 𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐲𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 Somebody's gonna make a clip of that and show it on their defending page. Fucking stupid. All right, guys. I think you have anything else, Cam?
No, besides my regular weekly thank you to everyone. Yeah, thanks so much, guys. It was an awesome show, awesome week. And yeah, here's to the next week.
Yeah. I will let everybody know about the next Zoom meeting we have regarding the fan club and the trip. Pretty much going to be combining it together because both groups are the same people. So we're just going to combine it. I haven't heard from Memphis, but I'm not surprised from Grayson, but I'm not surprised because of the storm. I heard that there's a lot of stuff shut down there too. So we're just gonna plug along, keep it going. We got some nice graphics, and I just need to get with everybody, and we just I'm not gonna I don't need to be waiting for Grayson to respond back, but we will get an answer, soon. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having to move this chair forward because the sun was starting to get in my eyes. I don't have anything else. I think I do have a great song for going out today, and I put it in here. And give me a minute. Yeah. So this is actually a remake of a 50s song, and I heard the remake, and it was remade. I think it was an official remake or remix, but I absolutely love this song. So, you guys, thank you all for being here. It was a blast. Saw some cool videos, did some cool stuff, and saw some really nice tributes to a couple special people in the world. And TCB, we love you guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.